All right, welcome to the Sharp Mind Show, episode 29. I'm Nate, the FitfutureMD, your host. Make sure you shop at instacell.com. Pick you up a cool inspirational t-shirt today. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below if you see anything that you think is interesting to talk about. All right, so, I got to talk about the season finale of Big Brother. Big Brother crowns winner Ashley for season 27 over Vince, right? So, is this really the only surprise of the season? I mean, pretty crazy, right? You got Ashley winning the final HOH, right? So she loses the first endurance battle. Vince doesn't realize that they asked for the order in which the people were eliminated in the second battle. So he was putting the days up there, the day that they left instead of the order that they left in. Right, so instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, he put day 66, day whatever. And so Ashley was able to come back in Ashley was doing the same exact thing, and then she reread the card, and she saw that it said order, not day. And she was able to pick up that victory over Vince in the second one, and then she gave a dominant performance on the last one, which was the mental competition, which obviously, her being a lawyer, she's going to be dominant in mental competition. But big question here, did Vince and Morgan make a mistake bringing Ashley instead of Ava? Let's say Ava really hadn't won anything all year, except for maybe shuffleboard. Did they make a mistake by bringing Ashley? Ashley ends up being crowned the winner here. Or was it the correct move to bring Ashley, because they were loyal to their alliance or whatever? Because, Morgan had the last HOH, I think, and Vince had the sole vote to evict and evicted Ava. If Ava didn't blow up in that little meeting there, would she have been able to stay? But she obviously was against Vinny the Lip, wouldn't have taken Vince, right? So did Vince make the right decision here? Because Ashley did choose to take Vince to the final 2 chairs instead of Morgan, right? So was that the correct move, the only move for Vince there? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Also, the fan favorite was voted as Keanu. No surprises there. He's basically the only reason this season was even entertaining at all. Because pretty much everybody was just sweet, nice, and cuddly, and basically Vince eliminated everybody in secret, as buddy instead of, actually, drawing a line in the sand and just being enemies. But I think that's what came back to bite Vince in the butt in the end, because basically everyone in the jury, was eliminated by him or betrayed by him in some way, and therefore they were not going to vote for him to win, right? Even though if you look at the resume, he had 4 HOH wins and several other wins, along with Morgan's dominant performance to get them to the end. Compared to Ashley. Ashley won the last HOH and won veto for the whole season, right? So obviously Ashley made the correct decision not to bring Morgan to the final 2 chairs and bring Vince, because she won the $750,000. Let me guys know what you think about this season. What did you think about the mastermind twist where they had 3 masterminds instead of 1? They faked, at the end who actually was the mastermind and arrested him and all that kind of stuff. What do you think of that kind of stuff? Obviously, they literally sacrificed a voodoo doll of Keanu in one of the HOHs and one of the evictions. So what do you guys think about that kind of stuff? Let me know what you think. As Big Brother crowns Ashley as the season 27 winner. Obviously, of the three left, I definitely was voting for Ashley to win. Definitely didn't want Vince to win, and did not feel that Morgan played a good enough game to win there either way. But just my opinion on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Definitely surprising. Ashley wins this year. Basically floated most of the game. Fought for life at the beginning, floated for most of the game, and won it when it counted at the end. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. This episode is brought to you by London and the Goo Goo, which is my wife's children's book. If you have nieces, nephews, or children of your own, make sure you pick up London and the Goo Goo, available on Amazon and in the link in the description. All right. So we had a big weekend of college football. Obviously, we're going to talk about the AP poll here for a second. So Oregon jumps to number 4 in the poll after beating Penn State 30-24, right? So does the NCAA AP poll have this correct right now, right, based on rankings? I obviously don't think they do, because literally they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They got 5 SEC teams in the top 10, right? So we know that doesn't work, right, based on how the playoff rankings work. Because you got 4 conference champions, the best 4 conference champions, right? And then you got the other ones in the rankings after that, right? So, Ohio State is good. Miami, Ole Miss, top 4, right? And then are you going to put 1, 2, 3, 4? You're going to put 4 other SEC teams into the playoffs? I don't think so, right? So, obviously, that's not going to work out in the end. But as of right now, as the way it stands, is a 3-1 record okay to have you in the top 10? The 3-1 record to me is not okay to have you in the top 10 when you got people sitting there 5-0. Vanderbilt's 5-0. Georgia Tech's 5-0. Missouri's 5-0. Like, BYU sitting there at 5-0. 4-0. Obviously, they got heavy rank bias on the SEC here. So I think it was like 8 teams in the top 24 or something, some crazy number. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Does the AP poll have this right here? Was it right for Oregon to jump Miami just because Miami didn't play? That kind of stuff. Penn State dropped 4. LSU. So LSU lost to Ole Miss. Right? Ole Miss is undefeated, 5-0. And LSU drops 9 spots because of that loss, right? Whereas you got Alabama losing to Florida State, right? I think they lost to Florida State. And they jump into the top 10 by winning over Georgia, right? And, they got Georgia ranked at 12th and 10th and 12th, right? That kind of thing, instead of jumping these people that are actually undefeated still, back into the AP top 25. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below of the AP top 25. So I'm going to move on to the next one. And it's going to be the quote of the day, right? So the quote reads, "The voice you listen to most is the one that becomes your identity. The voice that you listen to most is the one that becomes your identity." right? So obviously this goes back to mindset. And, you know, I think about sometimes what was the difference between me and my brother and everybody else around us, right? You know, every day my mother said, "You are my perfect baby, Nate Nate," right? Or every day my mother said, "You're my perfect Drew boy" to my brother, right? And I didn't know that at the time, but those were basically our affirmations, right? You're my perfect baby, Nate Nate. You were made in the image of God. You were put on this earth to do great things. And mommy, daddy, and your brother love you, right? So those are the voices that I was listening to as a child. And I think about, like, what was the difference between what my parents did compared to everybody else, right? Like, why am I the way I am? And why am I the way I am? And why are other people not that confident, right? They don't have confidence in their abilities. They have fear in everything they do. Like, why are people like that? And this is the reason, right? Because it's mindset. It's affirmations that my parents gave me my whole life, right? that that other parents didn't get, right? So that voice that you listen to, that inner voice that you listen to, you know, can be influenced by the outside world, right? So was it influenced by a school? Was it influenced by a teacher? Was it influenced by your parents that said you couldn't amount to anything? What was it, right? And so this is mindset. This is inner core belief, right? So to overcome that, you use affirmations, right? So if you don't have affirmations right now, you can pick up my copy of affirmations in the description below for absolutely free. Please just subscribe to my channel, like my video. That would be great if you want to pay for those. But obviously that's completely free, and you know, just click that button right there, completely free. But like I said, the voice you listen to most is the one that becomes your identity, right? So I'm like, why am I so confident? Why, you know, so confident to the point of, you know, people think I'm arrogant, right? Well, I'm not arrogant. I'm just confident, right? And then also, you know, my parents put affirmations that you are confident because you've done the work to be confident, right? So learned hard work from my father, my grandfather. Obviously, my mother was very hardworking as well. So if you put in the work, there's no reason not to expect to win, right? I say if you sit there and grind and blood, sweat, tears to everything, there's no reason that you shouldn't be winning, right? That your identity shouldn't become that of a winner, right? So obviously that's the voice in your head that you're listening to is the one that matters the most, right? So you start listening to the devil on one shoulder, angel on one shoulder, and the devil starts winning, you know, let affirmations fix your mindset and come back over here to the angel, the one that's correct, right? Because you absolutely can do anything you put your mind to. If you work hard enough and outwork everybody else, you can become successful. And that's what we're going to do. That's what I teach you as a life coach, show you the path to make sure that happens. So if you're interested in life coaching, make sure you click it in the description below to become part of my life coach community, right? So, but let's listen to the affirmations instead of voices of people that don't know what you can really do, right? So let's prove what you can really do, and we'll move on to the last one of the day, all right? Sabrina's 30 years old and has been focused so hard on her career that she's let her friendships go, her hobbies go, and has no dating life to speak of. Right? She's finally hit her salary goal, but completely feels empty. Right? So, what can we do for Sabrina? Right? So, I think it's not just Sabrina, you know, a lot of males come into this thing too, right? Because, you know, there's a big push out there that, oh, you should get your career first, that women will follow you once you have the money, right? It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what you believe. It just matters that you get the good career. and the big time payday, and then, you know, women will chase you and all this kind of stuff, blah, 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 blah. Right. And, you know, they've obviously done this to this woman here, Sabirna, and, you know, she's believed that chasing her career would make her feel more satisfied. Now, don't get me wrong, there are careers out there that are very, very spiritual lifting, right? You know, when you help someone out of poverty, when, you know, you help somebody that has cancer, or, you know, all that stuff is spiritually lifting, right? But when you just have a regular career, you're moving up in like the banking industry, or, you know, whatever, you may not have that deep feeling of success when you get to that salary goal that you're looking for, right? So let's keep that in mind. But so what are we going to do here, right? So obviously she feels empty because she doesn't have hobbies, she doesn't have friends, and she's not dating anybody, right? So number one, we're going to pick a hobby and start doing it, right? Seems simple enough, but you just pick one, something simple, and just, you know, do that hobby. I personally like hobbies that are, you know, physical in nature. So, you know, hobby of walking the beach, hobby of working out, you know, stuff like that, right? Not necessarily hobbies that take up like crazy amounts of time, like building Star Wars Lego ships in the basement and, you know, stuff like that, you know, but obviously to build friendships at this level is a little bit more difficult. I would personally start at church to try to build friendships, and also that would also take care of hopefully help you with dating as well. It's a lot better to find someone in a church setting, safer space, trusted people, you know, that kind of thing, to find dating. But obviously dating apps are very popular now, so if you're looking for a significant other, this is how you find one, right? You swipe right on as many people and as on many dates as you can until you find people that actually line up with your belief system, right? So if you're someone that, let's say you're a career woman here, if you're someone that believes that, hey, your kid's going to go to daycare, your kid's going to be in public school, you know, that kind of thing, that you're not going to stay home with the child after it's born, you know, that kind of thing. You also want to be with a man that also believes those things, right? You may be up in the air about that kind of stuff, which is why, you know, also, you know, you've moved up in career, so I'm pretty sure you're probably not going to have this issue, but there are some people that move up in their career and just let their appearance go. Like say Sabirna, you know, I'm be empathetic here to the situation because, you know, 30 years old, you're not the young chicken anymore, right? You're not the highly sought after, you know, 22 to 25-year-old that successful men are looking for, right? Successful men, right? But what you can be is the best that you can be, physically, mentally, emotionally, right? So you work on that, right? And that's why I say put your hobby towards working out in some way. You know, make sure you are, you know, doing your hair, doing your makeup, and no matter where you go, you know, you look your best, because you don't know when you're going to walk into a room and say the partner, the life partner you've been looking for, or the husband that you've been looking for, sitting there in that room, and you make a good first impression, right? And that's with anything, and obviously you're going up in career, so you probably already know that, right? But that first impression is basically everything when it comes to friendships, hobbies, dating, the whole 9 yards. So keep that in mind. Obviously, you want to explore, like, what is your actual identity here? Like, you know, what things do you like? Do you like TV shows like The Office, or do you like TV shows like The Voice? You know, are you a CSI Miami person? Like, what kind of person are you? You got to figure that out. You don't want to be trying to figure that out while you're dating somebody that's great, and then you realize, okay, they're not for me because I'm a CSI Miami person and they're a the voice person, right? So things that would bother you over a lifetime, you don't want them to pop out 5 years later because you're 30 years old, and you're sitting at 35 realizing that you hate your partner or your partner are not vibing 5 years later, right? So you got a little bit of a time crunch as well. So you want to eliminate things that are going to, by knowing who you are, you want to eliminate things that will waste your time, right? So this is what I would do for what's called the lonely climber, right? A person that's focused on their career, but everything else kind of fell apart. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm Nate, the FitfutureMD. Make sure you sign up for life coaching if you're interested. Let's get your life back on track or get you on a path to success that you're looking for. Make sure you shop at linktr.ee, pick up a cool inspirational t-shirt today, and buy my wife's book, London and the Goo Goo Goo. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.